Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Alyssa, and today I am going to do a palette bingo. I picked these two palettes because I'd happened to notice that another creator here on YouTube, Bianca, I knew she had this palette, and then I noticed that she also had this one. There's also a third palette that we have we actually have a few palettes in common. That is more, I think, just because she has a lot more palettes than I do, and so it makes sense that we'd have some overlap, especially because I have some newer palettes now. But yeah, and it was something about seeing, like, I didn't know she had the Dollhouse palette, or I'd forgotten, and I'm like, oh, the Dollhouse might actually go really well with the Crystallize palette because they both have a lot of cool tones. There are some warm tones in here, but this one also has warm tones, just a few, but so that could make it interesting. And so I decided, why not go ahead and try to make a look with the two palettes and make it random just for added chaos. So if you want to know how it's going to turn out, then you can keep watching. So I did make one rule for this. So I'm going to pick, I'm trying to think. Normally I like to do 5 eyeshadows max. And so I think actually on the spot just now, I might do 3 from this and 2 from this. But I will add a third from this one depending on what colors I get. How about that? Because I don't want to get like 3 shimmers from this palette because these shimmers are all the type that I kind of want to put over the whole lid or do things like that, So 3 would just be kind of a waste of the shimmers. So yeah, I'm thinking 3 from here, 2 from here, possibly a third. So I guess I have 2 rules, because then my other rule is if I've already completed one of the eyeshadows that I draw, the 10 times, because I'm trying to use all of my eyeshadows 10 times each with a project I'm working on, my All Eyeshadows on Deck. If you want to go watch that, there's a little plug. If I've already completed, then I'm not going to use it for this. And that should still give me many options. So this palette, if you haven't seen it for a bit, has 30 eyeshadows in it. And like I said, there are, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have over half this palette that has not been finished off with the uses yet. So many options. I guess I should hold it this way then if I'm going to do my numbers, but it's a little, actually no, I'm not going to, because it's going to make a mess. So I'm just going to hold it, yeah. No mess yet, but I don't want to mess. Okay, I'm going to hold it this way, but we're going to count this way. So 1 to 30. I've got my little checklist here, so I know which ones I've already done. All right, so this is hard for me to show. I got 3. Oh, that is one actually that I have done. Okay, fine, I will roll again. Now I got 26. So 26, we have, how many? It's 6, 12, 18, 24. The purple, nope, that is not done. So we will count that one. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget, because that's how my memory works. Okay, let's go again. 24, so that one is good too. I have not finished that one, although I'm close. And 13, the orange. Oh, okay. I know I've not finished that one, so. All right, well, I guess I have at least one shimmer, although this is not the most sparkly of shades, so, we'll see. But now I'm gonna swatch them at the end. Okay, now I've got to change this, instead of being out of 30 to being out of 20 for the Crystallize palette. I have only finished, I think, 2 of these. So we've got, and let me show you the inside of the Crystallize palette. So again, we're gonna hold it upside down so we don't make a mess, and we're gonna be counting this way. All right, generate. Oh, 20. I have not finished the purple. Okay, oops. 19. That I have also not finished. All right, we've got, that will actually go really pretty with the purple. Now I'm kind of like, do I want to go for one more? I feel like I might want to. We're going to gamble and we're going to go for one more. And hopefully I can get like a lighter matte or something. Okay, 20 again, that doesn't work. 20, oh, come on. 7. All right, fine. Oh, hey, I got a pale pink. Oh no, well, that one's already done. Okay, we gotta go again. 7 again. 9. Well, I've got a shimmer. Okay, well, you know, sometimes when you gamble, you don't win. So let me go ahead and swatch those out. So 26 is this dark purple here. Supposed to be shimmery. It is not super shimmery, but I might layer that one of those other shades on top to help it. Yeah, honestly, I feel like these shades might be expiring some from my Dollhouse palette, which is unfortunate. The mattes are still fine though. All right, and then we have this dark green, although it is almost brown, so. And then there was the orange, of course, because that is part of our element of chaos here. Couldn't have it too easy. So those are my Dollhouse shades. Now for Crystallize, we had the last shade, so purple. It goes on so well. Then we had the glowy shade next to it. And then my bedding shade was that other shiny one, which maybe this will help. This is basically like an iridescent toppery type of shade. So we're gonna see what we can do with that. Let's see, because how does it, there should be a little bit of purple in it. I'm not sure if I can show it to you, the purple of that shade. Maybe you can see it a little bit, it's hard. But yes, so this is what we have. It's very Halloween. So, all right, let's figure out what we're gonna do. Well, I mean, I am. You don't have to wear this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with that orange and do it in the crease. And we're just gonna see how the orange and purple go together. I don't know, this might be really funny, but it's okay. So, how have you been? Right now, as I'm filming this, I am doing pretty well. I'm just sort of, my no-buy is going fairly well. I don't have a no-buy, I'm not sure if I said that, but like, it's like well, I guess some things are a no-buy, like some things I'm not letting myself buy, and then, you know, so maybe it's like a low buy, I don't know, however you want to call it. Because a lot of brands out there are just doing so much nonsense. And I know it's not like the brand necessarily, although some are the brands. Some are just the people in charge. And it makes it so that, you know, I'm not going to buy from those brands. I'm trying not to support that. But then I keep finding out like more and more. All right, we're going to start going to that purple. Oh, when I said that purple, I mean the one in the Dollhouse that's not shiny. So we're gonna just see like, I wonder, do I do like a glitter glue to help it? Well, I'm just gonna start with it as I don't think a glitter would do much. I mean, it looks a little better in the eye, I feel like, than it did on my arms, so there's that. I'm not gonna take it all the way in. But yeah, the whole different brands and all that, it's not fun. But then I will realize, oh shoot, that brand that I'm not buying from also owns this other brand that I had been buying from. And then sometimes there's not much I can do. Like, I'm not sure which video is gonna come out first, this one or the skincare one I filmed, but I did a skincare video and then now it's like, wait, there's stuff in there with brands that maybe I shouldn't be supporting because I forgot that they're owned by other things. But I will say that sometimes I feel like I'm kind of locked in with skincare. Like there's one body wash, maybe two, that I can use that don't irritate my skin at this point. And so if I wanted to, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and go into the glowy purple shade, but I'm gonna put a little bit of a sticky primer on. And so, you know, if I wanted to try to switch things up, it's gonna cause all sorts of not great things for my body. I feel like with, you know, skincare on my face and all, like there's that kind of thing too. And I guess I can think of it in a way like with eating, where, you know, I don't eat cake all day, you know, and in general, I'm doing what's good for me and, you know, trying to manage that. And just with all things, kind of like with fast fashion and all, that some of my stuff I buy is probably, or very much so, fast fashion, but I don't get rid of clothes easily. I hold on to them for a long time. And so, you know, part of what makes fast fashion bad is, you know, all the trash and stuff with like people just like getting rid of their items. So it's like, well, I'm not doing that. Now, the other part of like the labor and stuff like that, okay, you know, and then like with my food stuff, like I only buy certain brands of chocolate, even though they're more expensive, but then there's other stuff I'm buying that probably, you know, has its faults with the different brands. And so it's just one more thing. I mean, makeup, I feel like it's a little easier for me to avoid certain brands because I'm not constantly having to seek out new makeup. Whereas, you know, every week I'm going and buying groceries. So that's a little harder to change out. You know what's funny? I thought I was going to come up with such a cool tone look, which is why like I already had my lip on and like I was, for like what I was going to wear, because I'm okay. It's fine. All right, I'm going to do that last shade I had rolled in this inner corner lid area. We're going to see how that goes. Well, I kind of almost want to change it to be, oh, can I do that? I kind of want to make this in the center instead. I might go back and try to do that purple over there because I like this better. Okay, here, I'm just gonna like bring this over right now and then cover on top of it. That's easier. Okay, so that purple I used, I'll first do this, maybe I'll just try to remove it. There we go, why not? See what I can take off. That primer is really doing its job. All right, let's see, go back in with this, the glowy purple. It still has shimmer on it. Okay, hold on. Okay, I think that is, yes, I like that. And I will put a little bit more of that other purple with it to kind of cover up where I had that shimmery green. Sorry if I'm covering with my mirror. Okay, then I'll go back in with a little bit more of that brighter shade in the middle there. And then I will do a little bit more of the crease. Clean up this lower area. There's just shine everywhere. That's okay. I've gotten used to just having shine on my face. Better this shine than like when my skin gets like oily shine or too much of that, you know. All right, well, I've got some purple on the lower lash line already, so I guess that'll be good because I now need to go in with these darker shades because I have 2 more shades to use. So I'm gonna do the green on the lower lash line here. Oh wow, that's like so pigmented. It came off very dark. All right. I guess I could have done it as a liner. I was thinking it wouldn't be enough. I might then put some of that bright shimmer under here too? Or do I make it like a full, actually, let me just go in with like a little bit less on the brush, bring that in, and then I might do like more of a halo on top. So a glowy purple. And then bring in that lighter shade in the middle. But back to what I was talking about with the brands. I don't know, are you having the same feelings? This same sort of like, what do I do now? Like, how do I navigate this world with all the mess happening, it feels like? I don't know. I mean, I guess it was probably always mess. It just feels like we know more now with, you know, internet things and letting us spread that news more. Okay, now I'm going to use a liner brush for that dark purple on the upper. And we're going to just go right across. I actually threw out my liquid liner and have not repurchased. I don't know. My issue is I either have the liner, like the last one I had would stay on well, and then it was a real pain to remove it. Even with all my normal cleansing balm is just so good at getting things off. And if I don't have to like tug, especially on my lash area, like where the liner goes, that's just, you know, it doesn't seem like a good idea. And so even though, you know, I liked the look at times, sometimes it just also felt like the shadow that I'm using on top of shadow sometimes feels more natural with the look. And the liquid liner just felt, I don't know, plunked on kind of. And so, yeah, I think at this point anyway, I'm not going to repurchase a liquid liner because then I also have to toss it even if I'm not using it that often because it's like mascara. And yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead. Like I have all these different liner brushes and they are pretty good at getting me the look that I want. It's not quite as on as when I do, you know, like a liquid liner. It's not as bam in my face type of thing, but maybe that's okay. All right, now I don't have anything for the inner corner, so you know what I'm gonna do? That pale pink that technically had rolled in, but then I said, you know, I already have it. I'm gonna use that. Because, you know, we could say that it rolled in and then here we go. I'm just using more shades. And it's okay, you know, that I did not get, whatchamacallit. That, you know, I don't need like more uses on it because I still want to be using the eyeshadows more than the 10 times, obviously. So that was just more like a starter type of thing and a way to make sure like, well, if I have the same eyeshadow or very similar in two different palettes and I've used the one a bunch and I haven't used the other one, it's like, well, why? Do I prefer the one or did I just forget? You know, usually it's just that I forgot. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm liking the orange crease kind of thing there. I am sort of wanting to do something to make it blend a little bit more. I'm going to try on a blending brush using that darker purple that's supposed to be a shimmer but isn't, and just sort of blend around and see if that kind of helps. I feel like that's working. And then I might go back in with a little bit more orange on this small blending brush I'm using. Or do I have a different, maybe I have a different blending brush so I can go back and forth between these. Yeah, because I want to make sure I can still see the orange. Okay, just grabbed a clean one. Yeah, because then it's almost like the sunset type of vibe where you have orange and purple can go together like that. So this is definitely not the look I would have expected to come up with combining these two palettes. I was expecting it to be very cool toned and just pink and purple type of vibe, but you know, it's fine. Let me go ahead and finish off my face. Okay, I am back. I did my brows. I actually used that dark green that I used down here. I used it in my brows. I did add a little bit of highlight up there with the iridescent shade that's in the Crystallize palette in the top row, and a single that I have just to add a little shine. And then I went and added a little bit more orange just because some of it kind of came down, so I just wanted to, you know, make sure the orange was still there. I did some blush with an eyeshadow that I've been loving as a pink blush, and I did powder, and that was it. Because I already had my lips done, I'd already had bronzer on, and yeah. Something I didn't mention, I hit pan in the glowy purple as I was using it. And here, I'll go ahead and show the iridescent. So this was the iridescent shade that I used. And so then here is the pan in the glowy purple, which depending on when this video goes up, maybe I will have already talked about. I probably will have. But there we go. We did hit a new pan, which is always exciting. But I still have 2 more uses with that eyeshadow before I would be done in the all eyeshadows project. But yeah, I am shocked with how the look turned out. I thought, you know, like I said, that would be a different kind of color story. I knew about the oranges in the Dollhouse, but I actually really like this, and this is one of the reasons I like doing palette bingos every so often and just doing projects and all, because I feel like it has me use the eyeshadows in different ways than I would normally just kind of gravitate towards using them. And so it means that, you know, I come up with a look that I'm really happy with. I also like the fact that the shade here is the same as this, but they look different because this one is on top of purple and this one is on top of the green. And so that's always fun as well to, you know, make those little discoveries. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed watching this. Like I said, I'm a little bit like grumpy about purchasing things right now with things the way they are in the world, but that's okay for my wallet, I guess. And I think, you know, we just need to try to be our best selves and make the best decisions and all that we can that are, you know, for ourselves, but also, you know, for the world. So doing what you can. It's like how some people can go and donate, you know, like $1 million to some cause, but not everyone can do that. And it doesn't mean that you are not as good a person because you can't do that, because maybe then you're donating time or doing other things. So, you know, it's doing what you can. And so, you know, maybe for me, it does mean buying body wash from a brand I'm not totally pleased with, like, you know, the one owner, but I can make choices then with other products that I'm buying, you know, and do things like that. So that is all I have to say at this time and my finished looks. So I hope you enjoyed it, like I said, and I want to thank you for watching. Until my next video, I hope you'll be doing well, and I'll see you then. Bye!